Let's talk about the Ramones. Is there any band as heavily associated with New York in the 70s? These guys, 4 friends, each with their own background struggles that made them want to question what was normal and create something new by combining multiple influences and doing what they were naturally drawn to: make a lot of noise. We just posted a video on our YouTube channel that poses the question of whether or not the Ramones were actually the ones who started punk rock. The age-old question with the long and complicated response. I get into a lot of detail, not just about the band, but about their proto-punk predecessors, and about the 2 major opposing camps, the British punks and the California punks. Go check it out. The reason that I think the Ramones are considered the founders of punk rock is more because of the way that they exuded the values of the genre, the early aesthetic, and the basic bones of what the sound of punk would become. But it all started with these 4 guys from the Forest Hill neighborhood in Queens, New York. Johnny was a hard-ass, someone who valued structure and regulation and military ideals, the total opposite of what punk would later become known for. Tommy was an immigrant kid, the son of Holocaust survivors. He had a strong work ethic and a passionate love for music. Joey was kind of a sick kid. He suffered from Marfan syndrome. He was diagnosed with OCD and generally found that he never fit in regular society. But he was funny, smart, and very creative. Dee Dee was the son of an American soldier and a German war bride, stationed for most of his early life in West Berlin at the height of the Cold War. Life was very different for Dee Dee than it was for his bandmates. He spoke fluent German, and when his mother escaped his abusive father and brought her son back to New York City, he had a chip on his shoulder. What all these 4 guys had in common, besides landing in the same neighborhood in high school, was their love of early 60s music like doo-wop girl groups, the Beach Boys, and the Beatles. They weren't gifted musicians or anything, but they had the passion and the vibe and the intensity that was required for a compelling stage performance. They wanted to play short, fast, hard versions of those early simple songs that they loved. And hammering away on power chords, that's exactly what they did. First, they caught New York's attention, tearing their way through the local music scene. They released their debut album in 1976, and it became a North Star for every punk band that came after them. Their tour for that album in the same year would help induce the explosion of the genre after Malcolm McLaren introduced the sound and aesthetic that he'd learned from managing the New York Dolls. But that's another story. British punk rock was like American punk rock on speed. It was crazier, it was more aggressive, and it was more of a culture-shaking event there. But it all started in New York. So while the Ramones may not have been the original punk, or the most punk, or the best punk, without them, their sound and their dedication to authenticity, the identity of punk rock as we know it today would simply not exist. Let me know what you think. Go check out the full video through the link in our bio.